U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Wade Mitcheltree grew up in Pennsylvania. And while his older brother and sister chose to go to college after high school, Wade felt he had a different calling.
I didn't have the academic discipline for college. I looked at it, it would have been a waste of money. So I checked out the Army recruiter, was like, yeah, cool, sounds good, let's do it. 2 weeks after I graduated, I was in the military.
Wade served 3 tours, 1 in Iraq and 2 in Afghanistan. His platoon worked with the local police force, ensuring the security of the local population and his fellow troops. While back in the States, Wade spent time stationed at Fort Bragg, which is where he met Katie.
She came to visit a friend and she met me and she never went home, basically. She was there in the beginning and she's been through it all with me, and she's the glue that holds this whole thing together.
On August 31st, 2012, about 4 months into his second tour in Afghanistan, Wade was on patrol in Kandahar province. He found himself suddenly engaged in a firefight with the enemy. In the midst of the battle, as Wade was maneuvering across open ground, he was severely injured by an improvised explosive device.
I remember it blowing up. I remember flipping through the air. I remember hitting the ground. I remember seeing my hand. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's all chewed up. About that time, my medic got to me, kind of rinsed my face off as best as he could while he was putting a tourniquet on my arm, a tourniquet on both my legs. The next thing I remember is the helicopter getting there. I remember them taking me to the helicopter, the ride to the field hospital, getting off it, going inside, and the doctor saying, do you know who you are and do you know where and what happened? And I was like, yep. And I told him who I was, where I was, and that I just got blown up. And I remember the doctor going, okay, good night. And the next thing I remember was waking up in San Antonio.
I was in shock, worried about having to talk to the kids about what had happened, because at the time they were only 6 and 11.
He lost his right leg above the knee and his right arm below the elbow. He suffered muscle and nerve damage in his lower left leg, a snapped pelvis, and ruptures to both his eardrums. In 2016, due to complications from his injuries, Wade's left leg was amputated below the knee. It was during his continuing rehabilitation at Brooke Army Medical Center that I first met Wade and his wife, Katie. I urged them to apply for a custom-built, specially adapted smart home through the Gary Sinise Foundation's R.I.S.E program.
I kid you not, from the time he said we got accepted into the program, I literally didn't stop smiling for probably 4, maybe 5 hours.
I got nothing done the rest of that day.
It was overwhelming.
Construction began, and on August 11th, 2017, Wade, Katie, and their 2 boys were welcomed into their new home in Tigard, Oregon.
It's breathtaking. Sweet.
I don't think I made it through the front door without tears forming.
I'm gonna have a lot more independence. I'm not gonna be restricted.
Wade is obviously very independent now, but things are not always going to be that way, and everything that they've thought of, that they've put in this house, will make it easier for me to help him when he needs it.
Kitchen, phenomenal. I'll be able to take something out of the oven, and we purposely had a cutting board that slides in the end of the island, so that really all I have to do is kind of do a half turn. Oh yeah, that's gonna work awesome. Working with the foundation, it is a huge group of amazing people. They're so outgoing and supportive of everything.
On behalf of everyone at the Gary Sinise Foundation, thank you for serving our country. Welcome home, sir. May God bless you always, and may God bless the United States of America you have so faithfully served.
With the peace of mind this new smart home has offered the Mitcheltree family, Wade has begun thinking about the next chapter in his life, continuing his commitment to public service by inspiring others. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, first responders, their families, and those in need. To learn more about the Gary Sinise Foundation and how you can support other veterans like Wade Mitcheltree, visit GarySiniseFoundation.org.